Welcome back. Today, we are cutting straight to the chase with the newly released Stanford 2026 AI Index Report. It is 243 pages of hard data on where AI actually stands right now. So, what is the biggest shocker this year? Are we still looking at the same landscape as 2025?
Not at all. The entire global dynamic has shifted, and the most massive takeaway is the US-China AI race. For years, the narrative was that the US was miles ahead. But the 2026 data shows China's top AI models have essentially caught up. The performance gap between the absolute top models from both countries is now a razor-thin 2.7%.
Wait, just 2.7%? That means the performance gap is practically erased. How did that happen so fast?
It really is. Back in early 2025, DeepSeek's R1 model briefly tied the strongest US model. Right now, if you look at the top tier of AI, companies like Anthropic, OpenAI, Alibaba, and DeepSeek are all crammed into the exact same elite bracket. It is so close that the competition isn't even about raw performance anymore. It is about cost and reliability.
But if the models are basically tied, does the US still have an edge anywhere?
Money and legacy talent. Private AI investment in the US is over 23 times higher than in China. But China is dominating in other metrics. They produce way more AI patents, their paper citation gap with the US is almost gone, and they install over half of the world's industrial robots. Plus, the US is losing its magnetic pull. Since 2017, the net inflow of top AI talent moving to the US has plummeted by 89%.
That is a massive structural shift. Okay, let's pivot to the AI itself. We see these models ace every test, but how smart are they in the real world?
The report uses a perfect term for this: jagged intelligence. AI capabilities are not a smooth upward curve. They are totally erratic. For example, Google's AI just won a gold medal at the International Math Olympiad. But when researchers tested these genius models on reading a simple analog clock, the success rate was only 50%. Humans score over 90%.
So we have a math prodigy that literally cannot tell time. That means our whole system of testing AI is basically broken, right?
Exactly. The old benchmarks are collapsing. AI can crush PhD-level multiple-choice questions in seconds. But doing a test is not doing science. When they asked AI to replicate real published astrophysics experiments, it scored under 20%. It cannot handle the noise and uncertainty of real research yet.
Makes sense. Let's talk survival, specifically jobs. We hear AI boosts productivity, but what is the actual casualty rate on the ground right now?
Productivity is definitely up, but it is coming at a steep cost for young people. AI is essentially wiping out the bottom rung of the career ladder. It is taking over entry-level tasks, which means young professionals are losing their entry point into industries.
Give me the hard numbers. Who is taking the hit?
Young software developers are taking a massive hit. In the US, employment for developers aged 22 to 25 has dropped by nearly 20% since 2024. Meanwhile, older, experienced developers are still getting hired. Employers are just not bringing on juniors anymore.
So we are getting massive short-term efficiency, but we are cutting off the pipeline for human experience.
Spot on. And here is the final kicker. The models driving all this change are becoming total black boxes. Back in 2020, open source and closed source were pretty balanced. Now, the absolute strongest models are strictly closed. Almost none of the top players are disclosing their training data or code anymore. Transparency has actually regressed this year.
So to sum up the 2026 reality, a black box technology is wiping out entry-level jobs, breaking our testing systems, and fueling a dead heat race between the US and China. That is a lot to process. Thanks for breaking it down, and we will see you next time.